Andrew Padoa from Sasfin Wealth joins us now for a full look into the day that was in markets. Andrew, thanks so much for your time today. Let's reflect on NVIDIA's results, reigniting that tech trend. Are those bubble fears behind us?
Darling, I would like to say that yes, they are. Look, there was a lot of negative sentiment leading up before these NVIDIA results. It was a little bit stressful seeing these stocks falling like they were. So I think we were all saying a little prayer before NVIDIA's results last night, but thankfully they delivered. It's stellar results. If we just look at NVIDIA in 2020, their total revenue was 11 billion USD. They're now on track for more than 200 billion. This is unprecedented. We've never seen this before. And this is a company with a $4.5 trillion market cap growing at 66%. It's really wild. So I think what the market wants to see now is all this CapEx spend that the big tech guys are spending. They want to see the revenue. They want to see the money now for the return on investment.
And we wait in anticipation for that. But for now, let's look at what's playing out on the economic front. Labor data in particular, we aren't getting those October non-farm payrolls. Instead, data will be released alongside the November print. There's also intricacies when it comes to the unemployment rate. Now, will this cloud the Fed's move going forward? Just also considering the Fed minutes, where we sort of found out that officials were sort of confused, right? They knew that the labor market is softening, but not knowing how much it's softening. Then on the other hand, you don't know what inflation is doing as well.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a conundrum. I wouldn't want to be Jerome Powell right now.
He's already on Trump's bad side.
Exactly. Yeah, he's on a hiding to nothing regardless. I think this is the challenges. Yes, employment is softening in the States. I'm sure he would like to cut rates, but they've got to be driven by the data. And I think there's concerns with tariffs. What are the consequences of the tariffs going to be to inflation? How much inflation is it going to bring to the table? Because at the end of the day, they need to make sure inflation stays low. So I think it's unlikely we're going to see rate cuts in December in the US.
All right, let's shift focus to earnings. Investec posting barely no growth in HIPs, pointing to a volatile global economy, falling interest rates also weighing there. The CEO, though, Fanny Titi, optimistic, saying fundamentals remain positive. That not doing much to convince investors, though. I saw that the share price at some point was down 5%. Just your thoughts around those numbers.
Yeah, when I first looked at it earlier this morning, I thought they were pretty average, anemic. I thought they were on the low side. I wasn't terribly excited. And they were down about 1.5% at that point. But like you said, they closed down about 5%. So I think you saw some sharp selling from foreign investors who clearly weren't very impressed with the results. I just think Investec, if I compare it to ABSA, for example, I think you're probably going to get better capital growth from ABSA plus a 9% dividend yield. The return on equity for Investec, you mentioned it earlier, they're trying to improve it. They're on the low side compared to other banks. So these results, I thought were rather disappointing, to be honest.
And your thoughts around Mr. Price delivering 6.5% jump in profits? It also managed to keep a tight lid on costs in the face of a constrained consumer. What's been interesting to witness is its growth in the telecoms side of things. Mr. Price Cellular opening more stores during the period. What did you make of those numbers? And generally, what we've been seeing when it comes to these clothing retailers pivoting to other industries, whether it's financial services, when you look at the likes of a Pepco, or Mr. Price with the telecoms industry.
Yeah, so we've had some information from Truworths and the Sheeny Group the last couple of weeks, and they weren't great. So I think leading up to Mr. Price's results, maybe expectations were on the low side, but these results were really good. Look, sales growth 5%, not stellar, but it's growth. And I think what was really impressive was to see the margin expansion along with the sales growth. So I think that just leads me to fantastic execution from a very strong management team who are thinking out the box and how to create value for shareholders. So hats off to Mr. Price. These are very good set of numbers.
So we're seeing customers actually buying. They are moving products off the shelves.
Yes, yeah, not huge growth, but 5% sales growth is not bad if you consider the environment that we've got with competition from China,
Yeah.
Shane and the likes of Temu, which has been flagged from other retailers. And then we can't forget Mr. Price is a discretionary company. You know, it's discretionary goods that they sell, and online gambling is exploding in South Africa, and a lot of people are spending their money on that as opposed to, you know, buying apparel or clothes from our retailers. So it's a very, very difficult environment to be a retailer in South Africa. But to get 5% sales growth plus margin expansion, I think that's very impressive.
All right, let's get your stock pick. Where are you seeing value at the moment?
So I'm going with Visa in the US. If I just look at their forward PE, they're on the cheapest forward PE they've been in quite a while. There's worries, you know, the narrative about Visa is there's concerns about stable coins. Are they going to take market share? But from what can I see, stable coins are actually an opportunity for the likes of a Visa as opposed to a threat.
All right, let's leave it there. Visa one you're looking at. Andrew, thanks so much for your time and sharing your insights with us this evening. That was Andrew Padoa from Sasfin Wealth.